Hi, I'm Roberto Martinez and you're watching Toffee TV.
I made a point on Twitter, I made it about a month ago actually, and some people sort of mocked me or thought I was being really down, and I made the point again the other day. I honestly...
People mocking you on Twitter?
I don't care.
I know. I wouldn't know. Who'd have thought?
I know. I made the point that I honestly don't feel like I'll see Everton win a trophy in my lifetime. And I'm hoping that I've got a good 4 or 5 years left in me. I'm thinking that anyway. I've honestly, and this has not been like a down or anything, the way I watch football now, I just don't, unless we can throw in a Zenith Data trophy somewhere, I've just got this thing that I'm never going to see us win a trophy again. And my main gripe is that when these things happen, like Thursday night, I know you can't sort of overblow them too much. There's no sort of movement by anybody. The fans, Everton fans, all of us, and I include myself in this, when there's anything bad happens...
Being an Evertonian, you would.
Well, of course, that's what I'm saying, but what I'm not saying is, I do this and I do that and everyone else is... It's everyone else's fault. I'm just as bad. When anything sort of bad happens, kick up a fuss, and then we go and beat someone like Newcastle, and then we're all smiling again, and then the next bad thing happens and we're all gutted again, and then when the next good thing happens, we're all smiling. There's no sort of conviction on any level as an Everton fan, ever. And it's the same, if there are people with conviction, those people only kick up a fuss when things go bad again, and obviously you get people go, why aren't this group doing something and that group, or we don't hear from you when things are good, and that's a reasonably good point. And then we get the other people who never seem to kick up a fuss no matter what. And I just think we're a club, fans, who for far too long now are just going through the motions. And what really saddens me is no one seems to kick up a fuss. The media don't care about us. The local media don't care about us. No. And I'm happy to say that on here. No one from the Echo kicks up a fuss. No one says what the hell's going wrong at Everton. Why the hell have Everton, why are Everton anywhere near the relegation zone? No one from the Echo does an expose because they're too scared. And I will say this: they're terrified of having an hand slapped by the club, someone stopping them getting in. And you can have your right to reply and you can come on here and speak, but nobody, the national media doesn't care about us because we're not a big name. So it should be up to the local media. And no one will say anything bad about the club, no matter what. No one will say what's going on with the club being sold. No one will say what's going on with the club getting a new ground. No one will question the manager, no matter who he is, old or new. The fans certainly won't do it. It puts divides in the fans, and I'm just terrified that we're just becoming Swansea or Stoke. We do seem to be at that level now. And if the owners are mentioned in the national media, it just comes across as they're doing a great job. Yeah. We know they're not doing a good job. We can point to deals like Kickbag and look at them and go, why sign a deal with a company for 10 years in the biggest boom in Premier League football?
It's just going in with your hand side, isn't it?
It is.
Behind your back.
We can point to the financial records and go, if you didn't have this TV deal, you would be bankrupt. And yet, people turn around and go, yeah, but we're in the Premier League, so therefore we are getting the money. I said on Saturday, let's win the game against QPR. And let's start introducing some kids. Yeah. And someone actually made a really good point to me. Well, you can't, because every position is worth £1.5 million, and you're thinking, oh my God, yeah, I knew that when I made the tweet, but you're wrestling that now.
Well, the way fans have become obsessed with the money involved is just staggering, because it's not about just winning footy matches now, because fans look at the finances and they're like, well, as you say, you get this much for finishing this high, when really what we need to do, we're in a position now where we're basically all, not mathematically, but we're basically safe. So we're in a position now where we can plan for next season. So I mean, we could put bomb Howard out now, Baines, Coleman even, because he stanked the gaff out. You could put Garbutt at left back, you could put Brown in at right back, Stones, Jagielka, Robles in goal, and build forward, because Tim Howard's not got he's not got a long-term future.
But it's
not going to happen, is it? You take Barry out, but we're just not going to do that.
But you can't do that either. Sorry, Baz, but you can't do that either, because we're in the we're in the period now of a season ticket drive.
Yeah.
So you can't say to fans, you've got every game now, the club look at it and say, well, if you lose that game, that's another maybe couple of whatever 100 season tickets that might sign up next year. So everything's, do you know what I mean? There's no, as you just said, you want to be introducing like a Ryan Ledson into the team now and going, this lad's our future. You know, we want to crisscross him with an Osman or a Barry. Yeah. And you think, well, it's
long.
Yeah, you think you want to crisscross these players, you want to give them experience for next season, but you're not. You're too busy trying to sell season tickets.
The thing is, in terms of bringing in young players, and that's what we want to see. We want to see it. It's, to be honest, it's the only way it's probably our only route. If we're talking about success, it's probably the only way we're going to do it. We can't compete with. We've got two clubs at 4th and 5th in the Premier League that have spent £250 million in less than 18 months trying to fight it out to finish 4th. Yeah. We've just spent 30 million in the summer and thought that it was 300 million. Yeah. You know, so we're not going to ever get up to those levels with the way the current structure is it? So the only way we can try and bridge gaps like that is by bringing our own players through. The only way you're going to know whether Chris Long, Tyus Browning, Ryan Ledson, we know Luke Garber can do it, Brendan Galloway. Yeah. The only way we're going to know about these kids, whether they're good enough, is to play them. Yeah. And if you can't play them, then it comes down to pre-season. But then you know that you go through pre-season, doesn't matter what they do, they're not going to start. So we're going to have a big shortfall in the summer. Let me, your other point you were going to make, because it's not about the team. I also, it must have been the weekend for it, mate. I also tweeted after, I think it was probably after the Kiev game or the day after, was that we're kind of living a pointless existence almost. Love me club, you know, I've been coming for 35 plus years, love it. You know, it's my club, never going to change. But when I started watching it, anyone could, it was about building football teams. It wasn't about Subway and Nivea adverts and everything else that goes on in the game.
Pele's footlong. Pele
and Chevrolet and everything else. Let's just leave Pele's footlong where it is. And is he still doing them things, by the way?
Oh, he's doing Subway now?
No, but I thought he was doing the thing for Viagra as well. So he's gone from Viagra onto a footlong.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And all of that, you know, all of the things about going after trophies and building teams, that's what you want. For me, it wasn't about whether Everton had made £1 million in them days. It was about the fact that who were we buying, because I wanted that. I was only interested in...
Someone should be shot by the bar.
Has Bill Kendall just coming here? Didn't see him. Or a ghost, wasn't a ghost of Dixie Dean. All right, Dixie, aren't you? It wasn't about how much money we could make. It was about putting a team that would win things on the, you know, on the pitch. Nowadays, we can't get anywhere near the stratosphere, and there's many reasons, isn't there? There's reasons like we don't seem to ever move on. We just kind of seem to have a good team, or you know, we've had a decent team over the last 12, 13 years. We've always been up near the top end, you know, of the table, but we go into the summer worrying about who we're going to sell.
But my point is, right, and this is for everyone. We have certainly have a handful of people who watch these videos, or maybe don't watch these videos, who follow us on Twitter, and what they say to us, why aren't you talking about what's going on at the club? Why aren't you talking about the owners? And we've said to them, if you want to come on, if you want to be a guest and come and have a chat about it, we'll have a chat about it, right? The problem is, that's a private company. We can't really sort of go in and out of it. We can complain or whatever, but there's not much we can do about that. But what I would say is, and this is why I brought it up, is there's no pressure anywhere from anyone. Fans have been going to the game this season and booing the team, yet those fans, you know, don't go home and sort of kick off about anything else that's going on in the club. You know, someone writes Martinez under the wall, but I've never seen anyone write anything else on the wall about anyone else. The first thing that happened when that writing was on the wall, and it's been proved true, was, it's cop-out behaviour. And any time someone says anything, it's cop-out behaviour. You say anything bad about this club, it's cop-out behaviour. Why, as fans, aren't we allowed to complain about our club from certain fans? And why are the fans that do complain, why do they only say these things when in times of when it's bad. Why aren't fans being consistent? Why aren't fans sticking their neck out when times are good? That's what I don't quite understand. The other thing I want to say is, on Saturday, Karen Brady came out and said about Sam Allardyce, you better get this sorted, right? That's West Ham. It's West Ham, a team who are having a great season, right? They're moving into the Olympic Stadium, so they've obviously got big plans. Sam will be out the door in the summer anyway. Yeah. They want a European naming, they want to get the fans in, but more importantly, they want to get the boxes sold at the Olympic Stadium, because that's what it's all about. They're trying to move their club on, and they're putting active pressure on. I have not heard one person from that side of the road say anything good or bad in the last 3 months about Martinez.
Yeah.
Should they be coming out and going, well, this is actually not good enough, and a club of Everton stature, this is not good enough. We said 12 years ago, never again will this happen, and it's happening again. Or 18 years ago, whatever it was, that it should never happen again. There's no one coming out and saying, hey, this manager is brilliant, we back him at 100%. There's nothing, we don't get anything. There's no pressure from the press, no pressure from the club, good or bad. There's nothing from anyone. As Baz has just said, we're just existing, and this is what annoys me more than anything.
I think the press thing's key for me, because the press often set the agenda. So if the Echo go round and say, yeah, Ken Wright's doing a terrible job here. I am, yeah. Well, so-called journalist. So if the Echo come up and say Ken Wright's doing a terrible job, he's running the club terrible, then it gives fans something to hang on to, and then that becomes the agenda. But then when all you're getting in the press is, they're doing a great job, we're doing this, we're doing that, all's good, and then people do come out with dissenting voices, they shout it down. So I think, and this is a problem in football as a whole, because football journalism is just going down the pan, because no managers or clubs are getting asked difficult questions.
No, because you will be asked to leave.
Yeah, because they're all in each other's pockets.
Your accreditation will be taken off.
Yeah, exactly. Go on. I was just going to say, over there when Stanton and Waldorf were in charge and the Echo was just running them out of town, that just became a massive thing. And it came on nationally.
And they all got massive book deals out of it, and your Tony Barretts and your Tony Evans made their names out of it, and all the lads who fair play to them from Spirit of Shankly, and now they're all part of the Anfield Rap. Yeah. They became the voices and all doing very nicely out of it, and fair play to them.
But it had a lot of media backing. It got the whole media on it.
Because what they all did was, they all knew that with all this pressure, they'd get rid of them, and because there's so many Liverpool journalists as well, they all forced it. Now it probably goes back to the fact that the people who can put pressure on don't want to put pressure on, because they've all got good jobs. They all need to make a living. They all have to live in this city. There's no point putting pressure on, because they probably all look around and actually think, he's not going anywhere. We're not going to get rid of them. We're not going to get someone else to buy it. But surely there's got to be a balance. You've got Dave Prentice came out and kicked off about what Romelu Lukaku said the other week.
Oh yeah, about
moving. And you're thinking, he's a professional footballer. Why are you asking a professional footballer to apologise for a flipping comment he made when he's talking about his career? Yeah, there's never any pressure on the managers or the owners of this club or the chief executives for anything they've ever done.
I think, you are, but that's right, that's correct. You know what I mean? There's no one asking any questions anywhere. Yeah. Everyone's just quite comfy where they are. Everton in this city, by whether it's the radio, I mean, you work for a station that, or you don't work for them.
I don't work
you
for
do
them.
A programme on a station that believes that there's only one team in the city. It's unbelievable that it's the two Premier League clubs were treated as though we're in the conference. We've got a newspaper that it's getting slightly better, Everton's coverage, but it's still, no one's asking any questions. It's all nicey Martinez and how great it is to have ex-players back and this, that and the other, but there's no questions of any real meaning. Yeah, of course, look, I've always said, someone accused me of being a Bill Kenwright apologist the other day, which I don't even know where these people get the things from, but the only thing I've ever said is, I've not heard one person come out and say, I tried to buy that club with X amount of money and he ran me out of town. Not one person. And people will come back and go, yeah, but it's they sign these agreements and all that. What a load of rubbish. If they wanted to buy it, they'd come out and say it. But the flip side of that is when people did try to get a backing, the crowd, some crowd, for me, they went about it totally the wrong way. I remember sat in the Gladys seat and people, you know, Blue Union and they're calling people because they weren't back and, oh, Bed, you're this, you're a cop-out if you weren't prepared to go on the Blue. Now, that isn't everyone in the Blue Union, by the way. It's obviously
well, to be honest,
isolated
that
people.
was actually people who probably were just supporters of that particular...
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying it was an official thing. I'm saying people who tagged on. What you have to try and do when you're doing something like you want change because you want to be successful, there's almost... For me, in some sections of Everton, there's almost like a snobbery, as if like, we don't do that. This is not how Everton behave. We just go here, we get on with it, we're plucky, we'll back our club and let Liverpool do all that. Well, you know what? While Liverpool are doing all that, they're winning trophies and getting
when they win the rubbish, they win.
Right?
Do you know what?
But for us, if the only way going forward to affect change at your football club, you've got two things to do. One, you do what Milan done the other day, and you don't go to the game. You don't go to the game, you come away, and when the team runs out and there's 11 people in there, or there'll be 3,000, because people will always say, I'm not going, but they will. And then they see them, that's when they start thinking, hang on, we need to do something here.
Yeah.
Or you find a way of uniting the fan base, and you unite the fan base not by trying to get up in people's faces, by saying, look, we actually want a successful club. That's what we want. It's all very well going. I've seen people argue the point and say, these are all the Sky fans, they just want trophies now and they're like spoiled kids. No, if you don't want to see your team winning things, why are you coming? You just come to watch football, that's fine, you just enjoy football. But if you want to see a successful side, you know, we're going into 30 years since we won the European trophy.
It is Everton Football Club, and this is my main argument. And I say this argument more because I'm just a socialist rather than want to have a go at Everton. I like to see people affect change. It's as simple as that. I think, you know, we're the fans. It's where it should be. But listen, what the main point is, you can't go into a ground and be booing the team and booing the manager, and yet coming off and being.
Hang on, let me stop you.
Go on.
The real pet hate from everyone's entitled to boo. I don't have a problem with booing. I don't like them booing players individually.
You look
I don't
a bit
like
daft doing it though.
Right?
Anyone does it.
Well, you know, look, if you paid your money, you're not happy about that final whistle. Boo. If they get beaten, you're not happy. You don't think they. But then, please, if you watch it, don't boo. And then because 3 players come down and give it all after the street end, then start clapping them. You've just booed.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what
boo and walk away.
That's what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is, though, you can't go to the match and boo and then sort of come home and accept everything else. That's what I'm saying. One thing affects everything else, and this is not a rant about the owners. But what I'm saying is, though, there's no, you know, we just seem to be drifting along, you know.
In this day and age, the whole point of my tweet, which is the bit of Eddie Izzard, I said it about 20 minutes ago, and we've come back to it. But the whole point was because we don't seem to have any, for me, Everton haven't got a forward plan. I've never heard us come out and say, in 3 years, we're going to have 500 million to spend because we're doing A, B and C. We're all doing it. We do it as fans. We're doing it as a board. We're doing it as a chief executive. We're doing it as players and manager. You know, our players, we have them for a couple of years. They want to move on. Why? Because nothing's going on. You can't look and go, we're hoping to get there. This is a money-driven environment now. It's all about having money. Personally, I only see 2 teams competing for the league for the next 10 years. I don't care how much other teams in this city spend or for me, they're too far gone. But the only way we're going to even get close to that top table is to somehow change
a League Cup now and again would be nice.
Anything,
do you know what I mean?
We've got one cup we can go for.
I honestly think we've probably got more chance of winning the Premier League than the League Cup.
We're never winning that.
But what I'm saying is that fans go in and boo, come out, and then that's it. And that's what I'm saying. If you don't like what you're seeing on the pitch on a constant level, then something has to change elsewhere. You have to question what's going on elsewhere. You've got to question the manager, you've got to question the owners or stop coming. Last season, case in point, the badge, I hated it. I openly said I hated it. And I boycotted anything with that badge on all season. I refused to buy anything.
The badge was lucky though.
It turns out now. But I refused to buy anything with that badge, and that was my little sort of mini sort of thing. I went the game, I paid me money, I sat on my seat and I watched the game, I was very happy. But for that one thing, the badge, no, I wasn't having any. It wasn't Everton as far as I'm concerned, so I boycotted it. I'm not asking people to boycott, but what I'm saying is, if you want things to change, sometimes fans have to affect change, and even if it's the tiniest little thing. But you know,
I've always thought, like, you know, you got the putting it to a wider football context, you got the Football Supporters Federation with the 20s plenty and all this, and the marching down on Premier League and that. It's not going to do a thing. What people need to do is, if they're not happy with ticket prices, by all means go to the game, but just don't buy anything in the ground. Don't buy merchandise, don't buy pies, don't buy beer, don't buy anything at the ground. And the clubs might start taking notice, but I think these like marches and stuff like that, it just doesn't do anything, does it? It's.
You've got me.
If you disagree, come and tell us and get on. And
I had made with some cockfighting on Facebook about this, about the Liverpool protest, because I said it was just too self-referential and it was just all about them because they were being crap at the time. I had made about it, but anyway, that's another story.
All about them?
Oh no,
stop.
Doesn't have to be that.
I think what protests do is they bring some things to the attention.
I mean, we've had the train with the Newcastle thing, didn't we? We had 20 quid up there, 20 quid down here. I think, look, I kind of know what you're saying, but I think in that situation, they have affected it a little bit.
Yeah, I
but
suppose
it just needs to
awareness.
It needs to be on a wider
It needs
basis.
to kick on, basically.
My main gripe from the whole thing was, if we just keep trundling along this path, we're just gonna become Swansea and Stoke. And if Everton fans out there,
hang on, Swansea won a trophy.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
But we'll just become.
Love to be Swansea.
We'll just become an also ran, and what we'll become is just a piece of the product that is the Premier League.
To be honest,
no, that's what we are. That's what we are. We are. And what you're seeing is clubs like Liverpool and Manchester United, Arsenal, Chelsea and City, they're becoming products outside the Premier League. We're just going to become a product within the Premier League.
We'll be when they all go to the European League. Our league will be boss. Us, Villa and Tottenham fight it out.
We'll be sound. But we're the free giveaway inside the packet of cornflakes, basically. That's the way we're going. That's what I mean. We're just a free giveaway. Whereas Liverpool have got their own cereal. That's a good way of it.
It's a nice analogy.
It is. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Do you still get free things in cornflakes? I have no idea.
You've got to send off for them. You've got to get tokens. You've got to buy like 3 boxes.
Get like
that's a probably health and safety thing.
You can get a personalised spoon. No. Never do that again.
But you've got to send off for it.
Never do that again. Never do that again. You can get a personalised spoon of cornflakes. And a good cornflakes box near you. Look out for them if you've got kids.
I have no idea.
Basically, you started off saying you'll never think Everton will win a trophy.
I honestly don't think.
And I don't at this moment in time.
It's looking
if we keep moving the way we are, we're not moving. There doesn't seem to be any desire to sort of actually affect change.
Right,
let's move on.